With Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, CNN reports that Attorney General William Barr removed the acting head of the Bureau of Prisons in the wake of the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein about a week and a half ago. In a statement, Barr said Hugh Hurwitz, who had served in the acting position since last year, would return to his assistant director job. Moving in Dr. Kathleen Hawk Sawyer. She led the Bureau from 92 to 2003. She'll be the new director. Complete dysfunction in the unit is what they're calling it, where Epstein was held. It emerged in the days after he was found dead in his cell. Examples like employees filling in as guards, not really guards, nobody checking on him for hours. He's supposed to be checked on every 30 minutes. Just absolute disarray.
The thing that gets rid of, that'll on a micro and a macro level, you'll feel it at home and you'll feel it in these big situations too. When there is just crazy... When there's like abuse mixed with ineptitude, you can never really cobble together a conspiracy theory. Because,
that's the question.
Because people are you have such a rich history of being bad at your job that when people are really good and really consistent and then something happens, you go, aha, conspiracy.
Yeah, something's fishy.
But when you're like, oh yeah, wasn't Whitey Bulger killed earlier in the year by a bunch of prisoners? I didn't catch that one either.
Nope.
Like what? And then there's a whole bunch of guys escaping in laundry baskets and stuff like that. Like, then it's hard to tell when people are inept now to keep the conspiracy working.
Yeah. I did hear on the way here, and I don't know if someone has more information about it, but that he was somehow able to sort of button up and tie up his will hours before this happened. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, he probably had somebody sympathetic on the inside, but it doesn't. I don't know. People are like, oh, the Clintons did it, Trump did it. I don't know. These people seem pretty dumb and left him alone for a day. So I don't know.
We'll have to wait until we get to heaven to ask him ourselves.
I also
only St. Peter knows.
Only St. Peter knows.
That's right.
Also, have we stopped every possible?
It's got to be weird for the next guy in line with St. Peter. Epstein, yeah, go ahead. Hold on. What happened? You beat off, my friend, those 2 times when you were 13 and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead to purgatory. Sorry,
hey,
you were warned.
Fucking child molesters went through.
You just letting anybody?
Well, before they actually had the actual court proceedings, he has offed himself, which should be grounds for dismissal.
He was convicted in a court of law.
Well, first off, what happens in Florida stays in Florida. Even St. Peter's not interested. Look, if I had to comb through the wreckage of everyone from Florida, we'd never get through this goddamn line.
Well, that's a really good point. Well, I masturbated in Florida.
Stillborn in Florida takes 45 minutes just to get through that kid's resume. Are you kidding me? You get to 63 and you did something in Florida?
Put a pot of coffee on.
We just don't have the computing power to get through that anymore. I never pick up this harp again. I'll be holding a fucking number 2 pencil with a jeweler's loop in. So we just kind of do a fast track. Like, you're from Florida? Yeah. We don't got time to scrub through this mess.
Have we stopped all the possible ways to break out of jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just mentioned laundry baskets and like the holes cutting out. Like, is every possible way to escape been
They
covered?
still seem to find ways.
They still find a way.
The problem, so far as I can tell, is once they're out, nobody dries their clothes on a line anymore outside in their yards.
Yeah.
So
Put on
they
a frilly
can't
dress.
change from their orange jumpsuit.
Oh, that was a go-to. That was the classic
go-to.
switcheroo, right?
You have to look over the fence, see the woman with their bag.
And it's never the clothes you want, right? It's like a purple turtleneck. It's like those emergency clothes you got in elementary school when you forgot.
It's kind of got some Pulp Fiction to it.
Yeah.
UC Santa Barbara or
UC
whatever,
Irvine
Banana Slugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. That's
Right.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit of that. But yes.
You have to enter in society in like a new wardrobe.
Thousands of items of clothing in movies taken by prisoners from lines. Never once was it wet.
No, it's always dry.
Always dry.
Well, they picked the right yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can
Obviously.
tell. It's there's pie smells oozing out of the window. They know it's a nice home.
Yeah, put the pie to dry
That's right.
on the windowsill.
Similar
To
time.
cool or dry.
Cool or dry.
Either.
I'll congeal.
What a boss move, by the way, if that prisoner escapes, goes in, like this feels like the beginning of a porno, I feel like, right? Prisoner comes out, old lady runs out, what are you doing? Stealing my clothes off my clothesline, right?
Right.
He doesn't know what to say. He's trying to, just got out of prison, hasn't been in society for a while, doesn't know what a good conversation sounds like anymore. So he's like, I just got out of prison, just says the obvious. And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, and then grabs the clothes, puts them on. They get into a little wrestling match, fall to the ground, music kicks
Passion,
in.
yeah.
Love making.
And then
This
they
is
go
a very
back inside.
niche porn.
Make love. Let me finish.
Okay, go on.
Is what he says, right? He goes, let me finish, because she's like, you need to get out of here. And he's like, maybe I just haven't been out here for a while. Maybe I'm trying to get in there. And she's like, is that a euphemism? And he's like, it could be. Let's go inside. Do you have a futon? Why? Because that's the last time I did it, and I'd like to stir up some old memories. They do it on the futon. They go back out. He's like, you know what? Keep the clothes. Walks out buck naked, gets arrested.
Wow.
Wow.
That's quite a tale you spun.
It writes itself.
And what's it called? Wet laundry. But the wet's in like a really fun font, right? Italicized.
Drips, yellow droplets
dripping.
flying off.
Yeah. You can decide what those droplets are, in post. But
Squalene.
yeah.
Yeah.
And guess who plays the dude? Mario Lopez.
That might be a good move
Guess
for
who
him.
plays the old lady? Helen Mirren.
Oh.
Yeah. Guess who's doing the
Attractive
music?
people.
John Williams.
Whoa.
This is now,
John
not,
Epic.
this is now the highest budgeted porn of all time.
Sweeping.
Mario's at least pulling in $60K for that 2-day shoot.
Wow. That's real good.
Not bad.
All right, Gina, what's
Okay.
You guys don't sound like you're going to be investors on this.
I'm a viewer. I'm an enthusiast.
Or an
We're just in the
appreciator.
drunk tank with you, Adam, that's all.
I love it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren apologized for having made unfound claims of tribal descent when she appeared at the Native American Presidential Forum in Sioux City, Iowa, Monday. She was born in Oklahoma. She has self-identified as part Cherokee in the past, based on what now she concedes was family legend. But though she was once listed as a minority faculty member at Harvard, there's no evidence she received any affirmative action benefits from sort of enlisting that way. Many tribes, including the Cherokee Nation, they zealously guard tribal identity and are offended by casual, unsupported claims. So this is her big apology at the summit.
That's going to be good. I hope she started. There was a famous American Indian stand-up comedian from the 70s. He would start every one of his sets with, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?" And now
I think that part got cut off.
Well, I'll have to look the full tape. If she started this with that, she will get my vote.
Okay.
That I promise you.
Prepare to be
That I
disappointed.
promise you.
Now let's roll it.
I am sorry for harm I have caused. I have listened and I have learned a lot. And I am grateful for the many conversations that we've had together. It is a great honor to be able to partner with Indian country. And that's what I've tried to do as a senator. And that's what I promise I will do as President of the United States of America.
Hey, are there that many? What's the voting block? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
my feeling is if we can't cobble together a few 100,000 votes, I'm going to just keep driving. Like, I don't want to have to get this whole apology thing going together for this group that, you know what I mean? Like, once in a while, you're camping and the guy's camping next to you, see you taking a dump without jigging a hole, and you look at him and you're like, what are the chances we're ever going to see each other again? I think I'm just going to keep walking here.
Yeah.
Well, how many votes are we really talking about? Like, I don't know, but I've never heard, like, in Iowa, in California, and then amongst the Hispanics, amongst people of color, white women are voting, not voting. But I've never heard the Hakawi tribe. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't seem to be like it doesn't make the board at CNN on election night.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do you think this was just optics for a chance to apologize publicly?
How much do we have to? Oh, that was Charlie Hill. We have a short clip.
Was the old comic?
From the Richard Pryor show.
Yes.
Yeah. This is Charlie Hill.
Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Crowd loved it.
I love it.
That's him.
Dude, if she'd done that, or even if she'd done, if you've listened and learned a lot and you're running for president of the United States, you might be a Native American. Something.
That's good.
Just to get people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else bitch should she steal?
I mean, just try,
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know. We don't have to court every group.
No.
Just go after the whales.
The big
you know what I
fish.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, you do like a Vegas casino. They fly in the Japanese whales. They don't care about the nickel slots.
minnows
These
at
guys
the
are-
penny
These
slots.
guys are nickel slotters.
3
Sorry.
million Iowa residents, 16,000 Native Americans.
Yeah. All right.
And maybe she'll get him, maybe
hurt,
she won't.
but maybe she'll get him anyway.
All right. Well, Heather Locklear ordered back in treatment.
By the way, like when they go like I want to apologize for all the pain that's caused. Like how much pain does it actually cause for someone trying to get into your club? You know what I mean? Like someone is just going, hey, I think I'm in that club.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm Italian. If she thought she was claiming she was from Sicily or something, whatever it caused pain for the Corolla.
How dare you?
AdamRay, when people think Corolla's Jewish, don't you just puff up with pride like I do?
I love it.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, you're an honorary, I feel like if you wanted to be bat
oh my
mitzvah
God.
tomorrow.
I mean, God, if I got to hear another fucking story from Ahib about Sandy Koufax, I'll fucking...
I feel you on that. The Koufax story is...
Sandy Koufax, all right, you got one picture. Okay,
okay.
Well, I get it. Amari Stoudemire converted, then he blew his knee out. He's not,
But I feel like everyone's trying to get everyone into everyone's tribe. But I don't know. Why do we owe an apology for it? Why is she's like flattering? I don't know.
People are in pain.
They're in pain. But has she caused the pain, or is it the diabetes and the unemployment and the addiction? I mean, is it that, living well below the poverty level, or is it her pretending to be one of you?
It's her.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now you know.
Pain she caused. Pain. God, weird society we're turning into. I apologize for the pain. All right.
Heather Locklear ordered back in treatment. So according to TMZ, the actress pleaded no contest to 8 misdemeanors, including 6 involving battery on a police officer or an EMT.
We treat it like Monopoly. When you have like 4 houses, you can get a hotel.
Yeah,
how many misdemeanors before you can get a felony?
Upgrade
you know
to
what I mean?
felonies.
Just feel like once we're starting to round the corner to 10 misdemeanors, like why not 1 felony? Let's trade it in for 1 felony.
Yeah. She was sentenced to 30 days in a residential mental health facility. So just in case you forgot, she must check. Well, she must check in by September 6th. She was arrested February and June 2018. In last year's arrest, she allegedly attacked her boyfriend and a responding officer. In this year's incident, she allegedly attacked a cop and an EMT, and both times she was allegedly intoxicated.
Is this all just substance abuse? Is this all just blackout alcohol?
It's got to be.
That's she said. Yeah, it's non-prescribed medications or alcohol she has to stay away from. So I think that's what they're indicating.
Because if anyone's ever seen like the full blackout alcohol gene, some people have it. Once they go full blackout, they just are insane. They have no idea. The next day, they have no recollection of what happened. The night
terrifying.
before, like you can take those people and you can go, that guy's a cop, that guy's an EMT. Now sit down here. Now listen to me. If you get up and talk to them, if you put your hands on them, you're going to get arrested. You're going to wake up in jail. And they'll go, you're drunk? Please listen. You're drunk. We're going to go in the bedroom. We're going to close the door. And you go to like make a phone call and they'll be wrestling.
Can't be done.
They'll literally be wrestling with the cop in the entry hall. And the next day, they'll have no recollection of any of it. And you'll go, I sat you down and I said, you're drunk. You've been drinking. Just let it go. And it's like they fucking get up and go walk across the room and they'll go tell Chuck Liddell he's a fucking douche. Like you'll be at the bar, just don't talk to that guy with the mohawk. He's fucking scary. He's in the UFC. Like whatever. They'll just you turn around. They'll be in that guy's face.
They have no prefrontal cortex.
They literally just do the opposite of everything you ask all the time.
There's no logic left.
No recollection of it. No, and there is no. Look, you know how we've been drinking all night together? We are drunk. So you're experiencing things differently.
Yeah.
And leave Brock Lesnar alone. Stop telling him his wife's pussy smells. It's like,
and Brock, that sword looks like a penis on your face.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do, and the more you beg them not to do it, the more they will do it.
Yeah.
So she must
stop.
be a blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Melrose Place was actually filmed on the same lot as Who's the Boss.
I didn't know,
so
Tony.
I used to see Heather, all the time. As we transitioned, I was like, oh, welcome to the lot. You're going to have fun. So, and I know a little some about substance abuse, okay? In my experience, on the Who's the Boss rap party, it's all about in moderation, self-control. But let's say this rap party was crazy. I mean, we had everything you wanted. Cake, we had balloons, we had Vicodins, we had Plan Bs, ibuprofens, Four Locos, tequila shots. People were yelling things out like happy birthday, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stick. It was a crazy night. I don't remember too much. I fell out of a bathtub, ended up kicking a dog. But at the end of the night, I woke up just feeling like this is not who I am. I got to make a change. I got on the exercise bike. I joined 2 softball leagues, okay? And I adopted a child from Glendale. And this is the thing that I learned, Adam. It's not what you do, it's where you do it and who you are. And if you look in the mirror and you see puke dripping down your nose, you know it's time to get sober.
Thanks, Tony.
Great words.
Powerful.
I hope you can sponsor Heather Locklear.
Oh, I am.
All right.
So this is some crazy news, but don't worry, it has a happy ending. I'll tell you that now. In case you didn't hear, Rolling Stone, other outlets reported that comedians Bobcat, Goldthwait, and Dana Gould suffered some injuries after a car crash that forced them to cancel a show in Atlanta last Thursday. So the incident took place outside the Relapse.
They spin out that 935 between turn 4 and 5 at the Conseca, or was this a real?
Close. This was outside the Relapse Comedy Theater, and they were, going to do their show, the show with two heads. And according to reports, Gould and Goldthwait's driver didn't yield while making a left turn, hit another car. The driver received a citation for traffic violations and driving on a suspended license, messed up the car pretty good. Dang. Then Dana tweeted, quote, "Hey folks, we're okay. Broken rib and a bruised lung, couple of broken ribs and a concussion, here and there. But the fact is, it could have been much worse, and it wasn't. We're alive and very grateful."
Wow, I wonder if he was in the passenger seat or the back seat, because the passenger side doors caved in bad. I mean, that thing was hit hard. Yeah. But if you're in the back seat, you may have stood a better chance.
I'll bet they're in the back seat.
It is
Uber style.
Yeah, though I literally was just, I don't know. We just jumped in a minivan up at Pebble Beach, or like, we'll take you from the parking lot on the top of the 17-mile drive. We'll drop you off at the clubhouse or whatever. It's like, 70-year-old woman. She's driving the minivan. She's like, who wants to ride up front? Like they'll do that sometimes if you have two, sometimes more, two people, usually more. But I mean, sometimes they'll go like, who wants to ride up front? Some people will get in the front.
I've had the opposite, by the way. I've had where we've had, too many people in the back and somebody will just go to the front, and an Uber driver was like, no.
Oh, really?
And we were all like, what? She's like, nobody's sitting up here.
Those are my thermos sits.
That's where I put my hookah.
Yeah.
So we got in the back, and it was, guess what? Was the rest of the ride weird? For sure. That is like a red flag. Like, no one's getting up here. Don't look me in the eyes.
I hope they're in back, yeah.
I used to be a front seat Uber driver in the early days of Uber. Like I said, it felt weird to sit in the back seat, right? So I just sat next to the person. And then I think I either posted a Twitter poll or asked hey, Uber drivers, is it weird? And like 95% were like, yes, it's weird. Please sit in the back seat.
You're not our friend.
Yeah. It's a driver. Yeah. And semi-anecdotally, although it was a semi-random sample of people, they want you in the back seat.
If you sit in the front seat of an Uber, you're trying to take this stranger relationship up to comrade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Up to like chum. Like no dialogue has been exchanged.
It's a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it something
you got to
more.
develop banter from the back seat before you can get upgraded. It's like being in coach going to first.
Right.
Like, show that you're...
You got to get the bends.
Yeah. All right. Well, we hope they heal quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Mm-hmm. They're strong men.
Well, this is crazy, and I'm only telling you so you can watch the clip. A television reporter covering a protest in Mexico was knocked unconscious by a sucker punch while he was delivering a live report. Reporter Juan Manuel Jimenez was reporting live from a large demonstration against gender violence, which was sparked by reports that 2 teen girls were raped by police officers in Mexico City. Jimenez did his best to keep his composure, but people were throwing stuff at him, yelling at him, and then a man came up behind him and just with a right hook to the chin, just dropped him, and he was unconscious.
Hey, can I say this? There's been a lot of this going on. Someone sent me a tweet the other week of Andy Dick getting sucker punched, and I mean, he banged his head on the concrete and stuff. There was this whole rash of like young black boys running around and just sucker punching people from behind.
Yeah, that used to be a thing. It was like parkour or planking for a minute. Like a sucker punch. It was. It was like a trend.
It was the Hasidic community in Brooklyn, I thought.
What? Listen, folks.
They were doing the punching.
Running around and punching people, cold cocking them from behind is bad. But if you knock them out and their head hits the concrete, you can kill them.
He hit something before he hit the ground.
He hit the table. His head on the side of a table, and then he smacked his head on the ground. Look, people. That is not... That's Andy Dick. That is not... That was last week or the week before.
Ago, yeah.
Look, you shoot someone in the thigh, there's less potential for damage than there is whacking you kill people that way. I don't know who all these people are. There's a little weird Antifa thing going on where we've just decided everyone's going to run out in hockey helmets and punch everyone in the back of the head and stuff. But this thing of coming up behind people and cold cocking them is not hey, I didn't hit him with a knife. I didn't have a gun. I didn't have a bat.
Yeah.
This is every bit as dangerous as whacking them with a bat. I mean, you are... potentially killing them and or causing brain damage or whatever it is, because if you're standing on a sidewalk, a cement sidewalk, and you're just standing there and you pass out and fall like a rag doll onto the ground, your head's going to hit first.
Yeah.
Or your shoulder blades will hit first, and then your head will spring back and whack the concrete.
Yeah.
And these people who think it's a good idea to do this should be brought up on charges.
Oh, 1,000%.
And I don't mean just like, oh, this is aggravated assault. Like I put my hand on your shoulder when we're getting out of the subway or whatever.
The Monopoly Hotel of
for sure.
charges.
Yeah.
The Monopoly Hotel of charges.
Yes.
All the misdemeanors.
This
together.
is, I don't know. I don't say it's attempted murder, but it is something a lot higher than me pushing you because we're in the 10 item or less line at the Albertsons and you have 13 items.
You took 2 cheese
this
samples.
This is not that.
Right.
Well,
this is very dangerous.
This guy, they ended up spray painting him, the protesters, and the guy who hit him.
Oh God! What did the
just to
reporter
kind of
do?
identify him, that he got assaulted. He tried to weave through the crowd. It's unknown if he's been arrested. Jimenez went on Twitter.
They're into tagging protesters now. Like first,
that was a great idea, though.
I thought you were going to stop at freeway signs on the 101, but you just kept going.
That was a good way to say it's the guy who's all spray painted in green now. If you want to see it, it's not actually. I don't think it's quite as terrifying as the Andy Dick, but it's pretty intense.
I was going to say this was one of those fucked up things where I was like, "Gross! Can we see the clip?"
Well, and the thing is protesters are yelling at the reporter, and I don't understand why. I don't know. So here we go.
Is it he's a protest because the police raped
a teenage girl, 2 teenage girls, and there's a woman that comes and runs up and screaming at him and into the mic, and so they're yelling at him. So this is what happens.
They don't like that he's even covering it?
I don't know.
Oh. I mean, you got to see that coming.
Wow. Knocked him out cold.
Dang, dude.
Jesus.
I got to tell you, man, we're also this notion. I was just listening. I was listening to Dr. Drew's show earlier on AM 790, I think it was, and he was talking to me. He was talking about facial recognition and stuff like that. We're going to have to start implementing this stuff. Like when people go into a crowd and just start punching people and then just go walk back to their car and go home, we're going to have to arrest these people. Like whatever, Portland, Antifa, whatever, punching reporters, punching Andy Dick. We can't just have like, okay, we don't want any trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You go around and start punching people and start arresting you and putting you in fucking jail. You're not allowed to walk up behind people and throw your fist in their mouth. I mean, you can bust orbital sockets. You can brain bleeding, swelling. I mean, you can fuck people up royally. You can end careers and lives. I mean, look what happened at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Brian Stowe.
You're fucking. You can kill people this way. It's this thing where hey, the cops stand off. Let it. They don't want to agitate. Fuck that. Start arresting people and charging them, man.
There's something fucked up too about the guy that wants to fight but doesn't want to be involved in the whole thing. Right. He just wants that rush of that one side
punch.
of it. Yeah.
Yes,
like that's the guy you don't want. That's the guy, That's the
yes,
guy
I want these guys to fucking do time. Like you cannot do that to people. And by the way, you're a fucking pussy coward too. I mean, Andy Dick standing on a sidewalk with his back to you, and you just come up to him and tee off on his face.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Sucker punch guys are just definite cowards. Also, the guys that call Uno on somebody too soon, prematurely.
Yeah. Same guy.
I saw you only had one card. Like you were hiding it.
Yeah,
they're not good.
They're not as
They're
bad as the
predators.
Uno guys, but they're bad. I agree.
Fair enough.
They're not as bad as the guys who play Marco Polo and kind of keep one eye a little bit open.
Fish out of water, you knew.
No, you're barely out of the pool.
Oh, they're always kind of gravitating towards where the people are.
Right. Not as bad, or the Uno guys, but they're up there.
They're up
top 3. That's right.
Well, here's some good news. Dwayne
by the way, in
Johnson,
Mexico, they think they love the shit out of Uno. You know what I mean? That's their game.
Yeah.
Can't start counting without that game.
Dude, if we'd moved on, you didn't get that in.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, got married over the weekend, finally exchanged vows with his longtime girlfriend, Lauren Hashian, in Hawaii.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw
there.
that, Brian. They shared a couple photos on Instagram. The two have been together since 2007. They have young daughters. Johnson also has an 18-year-old daughter with his ex-wife. By the way, a little fun fact about her. The bride's father was the late Sib Hashian, who played drums in the band Boston.
Nice.
Oh,
random.
that's Sib.
Do you think that's what reeled him in?
Yeah, he's a big
Dwayne?
Boston
He was
fan.
like, dude, I love Boston.
He loves some classic rock.
That'd be great.
God,
they're adorable.
Who, like, in the definition of crushing it, I don't like all the kids' new definitions, but if you're just going to define crushing it, it'd be Dwayne Johnson last 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Just insane
in every category.
Yeah.
Right. Having the best fucking life, like living like 19 lives simultaneously.
That being said, can we pull that picture up one more time?
So I think he's universally admired, too. I don't think anyone dislikes Dwayne Johnson.
People love Dwayne Johnson.
Maybe they don't care about him.
They don't want to admit it, but they love Dwayne Johnson for the same reason they love sports. We worship sports because we never stop talking about, this guy, sports analogy, but this guy was born on third base and thinks he hit a triple. It's daddy's money and all that kind of stuff. You look at Dwayne Johnson, you go, this guy is doing this in this country because this is what this country was set up for.
Yep.
We don't care about his nationality or skin color or whatever it is. He works harder than everyone else and he's fucking crushing it. And that's what you can do in this country.
And think what he had to overcome, too. Like, he was The Rock. He was a professional wrestler at a time when it wasn't considered especially noble or accomplished.
First, he had to flame out of football.
Yeah. And start from the bottom.
Right.
Like
so,
camp.
we look at him and go, he embodies everything you could do in this country if you had this ethic.
Yeah.
And then he has the ethic. And the reason we're attracted to him, like we're attracted to great athletes, is because on some level, when we're always talking about the playing field not being level and women getting paid 77 cents to the man's, there's just a little part of us that knows it's all bullshit. That if we got up as early as he did and hit the gym as hard as he did and worked as hard as he did, we could have a version of that success in this country. And that's why we're attracted to it.
Look at the size of those hands.
He even photoshopped a fence in the back of that picture just to show that he's a normal guy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, look, I'll take pictures in front of broken down home improvement sets and chairs for my kid. Like, this is,
Yeah,
also,
he's one of us.
Just looks so happy. This is a guy, like, what do you think he said right before that? Like, did he just say, I'm the Rock, or...
Yeah, smile for the Rock.
Jesus Christ.
He says his own name when he comes.
His dad. Well, you got to smell what the Rock's cooking.
Yeah.
You do. You got to taste it. You got to do. She's got to. I feel like too. He's such a normal dude that like she probably hasn't even seen. Maybe she saw the Tooth Fairy. She doesn't even know that he's in.
I've seen enough Fast and Furious. I know he calls her woman. Woman, you're going to get a taste of what the Rock's sack is brewing.
You know what? I think anybody would love to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
Honored.
What's that?
Open a can of whoop ass on your pussy. Whoop ass.
Bring it back.
I love it. And back to Chris Morgan. He says he's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah.
I love
the
that
best.
dude.
Of course.
Could you see him he also tweets out comedians specials and did you see that picture of him on a plane once? He was like it's cheat day and he had a plate of chocolate chip cookies and it was like you couldn't hate it because sometimes I see these like workout motivational guys who are just like never back down, keep pushing forward, find the strength inside of yourself. If your heart can't do it, there's determination in other organs. It's got to be you. Look in your eyes. Dude, your neck can have pecs and your abs can have veins. You got to want it. But he posted this picture of him on the plane and it was like a bunch of cookies.
Yeah.
He looked like a 5-year-old kid and he was like, it's cheat day. And part of me was like, dude, but he was like, look what I've worked towards, that I can have a cheat day on a plane on the way to Hawaii. And part of me started to like hate him, but then I was like, dude, he's living the dream, man.
Yeah, his cheat day wasn't quinoa. It was something that we'd all want.
No,
that's why I loved it.
Yeah.
His Sunday cheat days are like mega pancakes and cookies.
That's a reality cooking show waiting to happen.
The guy can't take his foot off the motivation workout accelerator. The guy's like, hey, man, sometimes you're traveling and you can't find a sand to run in. So what I do is I just flood my hotel room and run in waist-high water. It's like, you fucking take a break. Would you take a break?
Or if you're Mark Wahlberg, you bring your own sand.
You bring your own sand.
Bring your own sand, Adam.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to take singing lessons to be Maui in Moana. There's nothing this man can't do.
Did he really?
Yeah. He's great.
It's a
He was
work
the best.
ethic. It's a crazy work ethic. All right, what else we got?
Well, the Bears are the darlings at the Las Vegas sports books, according to ESPN. They said there are more bets on the Bears to win the Super Bowl. Is this wrong? You're looking at me like this is crazy.
Wow.
I know they're a semi-public team, quote unquote.
Well, there's more bets for them than any other team at multiple sports books.
It's not because they're favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's because
like
people think they can make it at 15 to 1.
This is it. So the Bears are 9 to 1. to win the Super Bowl at Caesars. The fourth best odds behind the New England Patriots and Kansas City Chiefs, who are co-favorites at 7-1, and New Orleans Saints at 17-2. The Browns 10-1.
I just like that we're on the beginning of football season.
Me too.
I love that.
It's the best.
All right, let me.
Tom Brady, by the way, back in the mix again. Like, did you just say the Pats were in the?
Yeah, of course.
42. Still, there's a chance.
7-1.
I love every year. He's like, I got another year in me, maybe, maybe two. Like, there's a chance this guy's going to play till he's 60. We got to start opening up our minds to that.
Yeah.
And if you can't, you got to look inside yourself because Tom Brady does. WWTD.
I gotta tell you, I would never bet against that guy.
Nope.
Ever.
At your own peril.
That's right. All right, Gina, what else? One more?
All right. Well, we know where most of the Corolla Show staff stands on their taco power ranking, and it's time for sandwiches. Yes. Because a YouGov poll asked people to name their favorite sandwich, and 79% of people all agreed on the same one. I have the top, well, there's a couple of ties here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Care to see what's on the best sandwich power ranking?
I'm going to be angry if it's like turkey number one, because that is the most popular. Like a Camry's the most popular, but it's not the
not your
best
favorite
car. No. And I think sometimes people do that.
I remember when like the Zagat guide would be like, "What's your favorite hamburger?" And it was like McDonald's number. I was like,
it's
I'm not asking for the one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
I think dumb people don't know how to answer questions, particularly.
Turkey's tied for number 2.
Is it something even more boring like peanut butter and jelly?
No, it didn't make the list.
Pastrami better be up there. French dip better be up there.
Oh, these are some basic bitches. That's not on here.
You're way off the
It's
list.
like bologna and
roast beef.
Ham.
Roast beef is cold, and that's why like cold roast beef I don't like that much, because when you take the beef and you. Like, if you take a good piece of steak and you put it in the fridge and you eat a bite of it the next day, it loses a lot of it. It's, like, dumbed down a lot.
Where does grilled cheese fall on the list? Can I take a guess?
You sure can.
1.
That's right.
Fuck yes.
What does AdamRay win?
Dude,
Number
grilled
1,
cheese,
79%
maybe?
of people said grilled cheese.
Signed headshot from The Rock?
I hope there's I hope there's egg salad somewhere on there.
No, these are mostly meat-based.
Are you an egg salad guy?
Salami,
I am.
Me too.
bologna.
I love egg salad.
All right, well,
I
bring it
like
for the
to
next
gild
vacay.
the lily and do egg salad on egg bread.
Oh, a little challah.
Thank you. It's a powerful and bold statement I made to the rest of the deli.
Hot takes with Adam Carolla.
That's right.
I'll run down this mostly insanely boring list for you. Club sandwich, BLT and ham tied, roast beef, grilled chicken and turkey tied, and grilled cheese.
Hold on. You can't have a three-way tie. The whole list is now null and void.
They
You
had
cannot
69% for both and 75%
What
for
percent?
both. 69.
Yeah.
Come on. I think, go ahead.
We have to ask Goyam. I mean, we have to stay away from Goyam. Sorry, we have to find Jews to talk to about sandwiches. I think that Goyam will be like Arm and Hammer delivered, devil delivered worst or whatever, bologna, pimento loaf. White people
bologna.
can't be deciding sandwiches.
Right.
We need Jews.
We'll take it on, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. What's the best sandwich?
Well, grilled cheese is where my head goes because that's where my heart lives. But I think...
I do like a nice smoked whitefish.
I don't, for sure. I'd also throw a meatball in there.
No, of course.
Used to be
Meatball parm.
a meatball parm. Like I'm not opposed to eating that. After a divorce, and I think that there's certain sandwiches for certain settings too, right? Like a turkey goes good when again you show up to school. I talked about emergency clothes earlier. There definitely were some times where I, fell in the mud because kickball got a little too aggressive, and my clothes got muddied up, and the school was like, "There's no way you can go back to class like that, so we're going to give you these clothes and a half-eaten turkey sandwich." And I was bummed out about the clothes, but I got a turkey sandwich.
Right.
So there's times where certain sandwiches can take your spirits up.
Let's not, it's never mentioned, but let's not sleep on the Italian sandwich, the Italian stuff. Got a bunch of different kinds of
Tons of
meats,
meats.
and I love the oil and the vinegar sprayed on there.
You're talking about a version of the Godmother at Bay Cities. With the Coca-Cola. And
That's almost like the graveyard of sandwiches, right? Where you know the graveyard where you go to like a 7-Eleven, you put every soda in there.
The suicide?
Right. That's a suicide.
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, I've
we
never
call
heard
it the graveyard.
Really?
Up in Seattle, yeah. Did you guys go soda or pop?
Pop in Kansas.
Pop, yeah.
Jeez,
Coke.
What kind
I
of
think
Coke
we
do you
called
want?
it
California
soda.
called Coke.
I think we called it soda, but my dad would ask me to empty the ash cans every once in a while. I think he was dating himself, right? And if you call a gas station a fill-in station, you're in your 90s.
That's
for sure.
right.
All right,
And
let's
if you
bring
call
it
anal
home.
first base, you're really dating yourself.
Right.
That was a shout out to George.
I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That was the news with Gina Grad.